Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're learning Python or just starting your coding journey, today's topic is going to be very important to you because we're talking about Python lists. Lists are one of the most powerful and commonly used data structure in Python. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to create them, use them, modify them, and more. So hit the like button and let's dive in. Alright. First of all, what is a list in Python? Well, a list is an ordered collection of items. These items can be numbers, strings, booleans, even other lists. And the key things to remember are that lists are ordered, and lists are mutable, and lists can store mixed data types. In simple words, a list is like a flexible container that holds everything you want. Look at this example. For example, my list is, well, we have a square bracket. Maybe we have one, we store one here, and we store, well, a value of type string, like hello. We have true here, a value of type boolean, and we have 3.14, a value of type, well, what is this? Floating point number. Alright, and to create a list, you just use square brackets. Here are some examples. Alright, like we have a list of numbers that are, yes, we have the square bracket, we have our number. Yes, and this is how we create it. Maybe you have another list of programming language, and we have maybe Python, and we have Java, or we have C, or we have C++. Yes, this much is enough. Or we have a list of named mixed. Yes, like this. And here we have, for example, we store one string like data, or maybe a boolean like false. And you can even create an empty list, and that's like this. Maybe that is called empty. Yes, using a square bracket. There is another way too, and that is list. Yes, both are valid, and both are ways to create a list. Now let's talk about accessing items of a list. And lists work like shelves, and each item has a numbered position starting at index 0. For example, we have here we have the languages. We have Python, Java, and C. Suppose we want to access Java, and that is like this: print language, right? Language, and index 1. Why 1? Because Python is occurred at index 0, and Java is 1, and C is 2. So if you want to access Java, we write it print language and index 1. Yes, that is Java. Now let us see, well, index of 0, for example. Yes, print language and index 0. That is Python. Alright. And this is accessing items. And remember that you can also use negative indexing to count from the end. Yes, we have print in language index -1. Let's see what will be the output. That is C. Yes, here C. Index 0, 1, 2, and from the end it is -1. Let's print, well, index -2. What is that? Yes, that's definitely Java. Alright. And because lists are mutable, we can change values. Look here. Maybe we want to change this Java to something else. And we do it like this. Language index 1 is, instead of Java, for example, we have C++. Now let's print. There is Python, C++, and C. Alright. And about adding items to the list, there are several ways to add items. I think we'll start with append that adds to the end of the list. We will check the list language and we append R here. We have Python, C++, C, and R appended to the end. The second method is called insert that adds at a specific position, like this. Language.insert at index 1, for example. And what shall it insert? Maybe PHP. We have Python PHP at index 1 inserted in C++, C, and R. Alright, this is the task of insert. And another method is called extend that adds multiple items to the list. Again, we check language as example. We want to add, well, maybe JavaScript, and also another value, maybe CSS. Here you see JS and CSS is added to the end, and this is what extend does in Python. Alright, and we can remove items as well, and there are several ways to do it depending on the situation. First, we'll talk about remove that removes values by item. Language.remove. What shall we remove from this list? I think we will remove JS. Now print it. Yes, JS is removed from here. Another method is called pop, and it is useful when you need the item. And it works like this. For example, we need our last item. Last item is language.pop and print last item. That is CSS that was popped from the list. And we have del that deletes by index, like del delete. Alright, we wanted to delete the value at index 1 or maybe at index 2 of this list. Whatever was in the index at the index 2 of this list was removed and no longer exists here. I don't know what was that. Maybe perhaps that was Java. I don't know. Maybe that was something. And we have another method called clear that removes everything from the list, like here. Language.clear list or an empty square brackets exists here. Just this remains. Alright. Now I think it's time to talk about list slicing. And list slicing lets you extract parts of a list, and it is very useful. Look here. Let's create another, list, a list of numbers that contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This much is enough. I wanted to print numbers from index 1 to 4. We use colon here, and it says print numbers from index 1 to index 4. Alright, let's run it. That is 2, 3, and 4. Why? Because 1 is located at index 0, and 2 is at index 1. Alright, 2, 3, and 4. Numbers from beginning till index 3. If we leave it empty, means from the beginning, and if we leave the second part empty, means till the end. That is 1, 2, and 3. Now, to check if something is in a list, we use the in keyword like this. Maybe we check if Python is in the list. So, print in language. And that is true. We have Python in language. And finally, let's look at some, useful list functions. Let's create a new list here. A list of numbers, maybe. We have a list of these numbers. We have a useful method called len that returns the length of the list, like this. Print len of the numbers. And there is 5. You see here. We have another method called, well, sort, numbers.sort. Alright, and the sort method sorts the list like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The numbers are sorted. We have another method called reverse, numbers.reverse. You see, number is reversed: 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, and that is Python lists, one of the most essential tools in your programming toolkit.